We're going to solve multi-step equations, and this will be the lecture examples. So let us start. Let's begin with the problems. This is the first number. So we're going to solve this using the whiteboard. So we're going to use the whiteboard over here. So we're going to copy the problem on the whiteboard. Okay, so we have here negative 8x. This is the first number. X minus 8 plus 7x plus 7x. So this is the given for the first number. Now the solution. All right, we're going to combine like terms. We're going to combine the like terms first. So this will be starting with x terms. We have at the right side, we have 1x and 7x. So that should be about 8x. And we still have the negative 8. And then we will now isolate the x term by addition property. Now, addition property will allow us to eliminate the negative 8 at the right side. So we add 8 to both sides. So we have negative 8, we add 8. And that's equal to 8x. Then we still have the minus 8 there. Now we're going to add 8 also. And that will zero out the left side. And the right side will now only have 8x. Because the negative 8n plus 8 will also zero out. Now, after having this, the next line, we're going to apply now division. So we will divide by the 8, both sides of the equation. So 0, we divide this by, our divisor will be the number beside the letter x. So we divide this by 8, and the right side is 8x, also divided by 8. So why did we divide by 8? Why do we have to divide by 8? Now, dividing 8x by 8 will give us 1x, or simply x. So that means the next line here will be 0 divided by 8 is 0. And 8x divided by 8 is just x. And the answer must be 0. Now, we don't write 0 equals x. We will have to write this x equals 0. So by symmetry or property, symmetric property of equality, this will be written x equal to 0 there. And that gives us the answer. All right, so let's find out if our answer is correct by moving to the other screen. Okay, so on the other screen, we'll be able to check that. Let's check the answer. It's a 0, so that means we're correct. All right, so we're going to proceed to the second number. Here's our second number. 7 equals 5n minus 5 minus 7n. Now, we will have to solve this in the other screen. So we will have to make use of the previous whiteboard screen. Now we're going to clear the first number. All right, we will now be doing number 2. This is the second number. So this is the second number solution. This is number 2. Number 2 solution. Okay, so let's type that. Solution. All right. Now we will have to copy the problem. Okay. The problem is 7 equals 5n minus 5 minus 7n. Okay, this is the problem. Okay, the one I have displayed a while ago. 7 equals 5n minus 5 minus 7n. Now, to solve this, we will have to combine like terms. We can combine 7 and the negative 5, or 5n and the negative 7n. All right, if we start with the numbers, then we shall try to eliminate the negative 5 at the right side. And that's a negative 5. So we will apply addition property so that it will zero out. So that means we're going to apply addition by 5. 7 plus 5 is equal to 5n minus 5 minus 7n. If we added 5 on the left side, then we will have to do that also at the right side. So we're going to apply addition of 5 also, like that. Remember, an equation is always like a balance. So if you add something on one side of the balance, you also add the same amount on the other side. And that's what we just did over here. Now the left side becomes 12. And then what happens to the right side? You can now see a negative 5 and a positive 5. That will zero out. This negative 5 here and this positive 5 here will zero out. And so we will now have to see it. The right side will now be 5n and minus 7n. The negative 5 and the plus 5 is gone. Okay, it's 0. All right. Now, in the next line, we will have to simplify. All right, call this simplification. 12 remains 12 on the left side. 5n minus 7n, we have a negative 2n. So that's a negative 2n. We should know our addition of signed numbers. So that's 5 positive, that's 7 negative. When you add this, it's a negative 2. Now, we don't forget the letter n. So the next line will now be just division. Okay, you see a number negative 2 here beside the unknown quantity. Now, to come up with just n, we'll have to divide by a negative 2. And we'll apply that to both sides. So 12 divided by negative 2 must be equal to the negative 2. And at the right side, we will also divide that by a negative 2. So we applied here division property. So 12 divided by negative 2 is negative 6. And right side is negative 2 and divide by negative 2. So you divide only the numbers. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is positive 1. Positive 1 times n is simply n. And this, you see a negative 6 equals n, and we don't usually write it this way. It should be n equals negative 6. So by symmetric property, we can write this like n equals negative 6. And that's our answer. Now, let us check it. Okay, let's check it on the other side. All right, we shall proceed the other side. Okay, remember our answer is negative 6, and we will find out if it's correct there. So the answer is negative 6. Okay, that's for number 2. Let's now proceed to number 3. All right, this is the next number. Negative 2k plus 7k equals negative 20. We're going to solve this in the other side. So remember this screen, because on your screen, you will only have to see one screen at a time. Now in my screen, I can actually see both screens at the same time. So negative 2k plus 7k equals negative 20. You may write it down. That's for number 3. All right, I proceed to the other screen now. Okay, and this will be the whiteboard. And then I can erase the number 2 that we just did a while ago. So I will clear this out. We're now doing number 3. And this will now be the negative 2k plus 7k equals negative 20. There. All right, this is the given. Okay, let us write the solution word there, so that we indicate that it's the solution part now. All right, so the given is negative 2k plus 7k equals negative 20, as you can see on the first previous screen. Now I have written it over here. Now to start with, you can start with the negative 2k and 7k, and you can see they are something you can combine already. It's combining like terms. Negative 2k plus 7k is simply positive 5k there, and that should be equal to the negative 20 there. And then we can now eliminate the 5 here, making it simply k by division. So 5k divided by the number 5 is equal to negative 20, divided also by the same number, positive 5. Why did we do that? Because we always find the answer when you reach this part by division. If you see something like a number and a letter equals a number, we will have to proceed by division using the coefficient of the letter there, exactly the coefficient. Positive 5 is the divisor for both sides. And so we now have to simplify this. 5 divided by 5 is positive 1. Positive 1 times k is simply k. And is equal to negative 4. There. That's it. That's the answer. And now we can verify this the other screen. Okay, these are, remember, these are lecture discussion. Remember our answer. K is equal to negative 4. So I'm going to proceed to the previous screen. Negative 4 is our answer. That's it. And we should find out, is it negative 4? Yes, that's the answer, negative 4. All right, so if you don't have any question with number 3, we can now proceed to the next number. Let's have number 4. Here's number 4. Negative 20 equals 7k minus 3k. I think this lecture note is up to number 16. Okay, so we will try to finish all of them. Now we have this number 4. We're now going back to our whiteboard. Let's check our whiteboard over here. All right, we're back to the whiteboard. We shall erase number 3. Let's clear the board for number 3. Okay, we're now doing number 4. All right, let's have number 4. Okay, number 4. Okay, so let's start with the word solution. Solution for number 4. Okay, and I shall write the given negative 20 equals 7k minus, that's a minus, and then 3k. Yeah, that's the given equation. Now, each time we go to the given problems, given examples, try to write it down so you will have to know what we are solving. Again, you can only see there one screen at a time, okay? One screen at a time. And we're doing number 4 now. All right. Now, how do we solve this part? Okay, you can see the left side, it's a number. The right side of the equation is consisting of 7k minus 3k. So if you combine 7k minus 3k, which is like combining like terms, that will simply become 7 minus 3. Okay, so 7k minus 3k is 4k. All right, so the left side is still negative 20. So this is negative 20. The right side is 4k there. So we are now having this simplified line, negative 20 equals 4k. We now have to make this simply k. Okay, so our objective now is to eliminate the 4 beside the k. And we can do that by way of division, okay, division. So negative 20, we'll have to divide by the 4. And right side is now 4k, we will divide by the 4. There. And then this will be simplification part. Negative 20 divided by a positive 4 is a negative 5. Negative 20 divided by a positive 4 is a negative 5. And right side is just k, because 4 cancels out with the other 4. So we will have 1. 1 times k is just k. Now, we don't usually write our answer negative 5 equals k. That should be written the other way around. And by symmetric property, this can now be written k equals negative 5. Yeah. So remember our answer, it's negative 5. That's our answer. We can now verify this by going to the previous screen. That's it. We're going to see the other screen there. And let's see and verify our -5. Yes, that's it. Our answer is -5. So that means we are correct. And we're now about to do number 5. All right, let's do number 5. Okay, here's number 5. All right, so we shall try to solve this number 5. Here's 187 equals 1 plus 3 times -2 plus 8x. Okay, how do we solve this one? Okay, we're going to going back to the previous screen. Okay, this is slightly complicated compared to the first 4 numbers. All right, we shall move to our whiteboard. All right, here's our whiteboard. Again, we shall erase the number 4. Okay, erase number 4. There. Okay, we're now doing number 5 here. All right, number 5. So this is solution number 5. All right, and the problem for number 5, let me write it down first. Okay, that should be, let's put it over here. That's 187 equals 1 plus 3 times the quantity. You see the parentheses there, and then -2 plus 8x there. Okay, this is the problem. Okay, we shall try to have more space over here by extending the whiteboard. Let me adjust my screen there. All right. Okay, so this is the problem. 187 equals 1 plus 3 -2 plus 8x. Let's see what we can simplify over here. If we subtract 1 from both sides, that will become 186. Okay, 186. All right, so we can try doing that, and then I'll just show you the plan, okay? We can do that, and then we can divide by 3, all right? Because 187 minus 1 will make it 186. And 186 is divisible by 3, okay? That's divisible by 3. And then after doing that, we'll be having some number at the left side, and the right side will be reduced to -2 plus 8x. Or we can expand, okay? That's another way. We will multiply this by 3 there, and 8 by 3, okay? We can also do that. So there are several ways to do it, okay? So let's try doing one solution at a time, all right? So we will try subtraction first. Okay, subtract both sides, or subtract from both sides the number 1. Okay, that will be a good solution. Okay, let's continue here. 187 minus 1 is equal to 1 plus 3 times the quantity, -2 plus 8x. Now we're going to subtract also 1 here, okay? There. Remember, the left side, we subtracted a 1. Now, if we do that at the left side, we also do at the other side, the right side. And this 187 minus 1 will become 186. There. And the right side now, you have a +1 here. +1 minus 1, these 2 zeros out. This 1 and this -1 zeros out. We will be having the right side now just 3 times the quantity, -2 plus 8x. There. And now we can actually do like divide, all right? We can divide here. 186 is divisible by 3, okay? 186 is divisible by 3. So if we divide by 3, this 3 here will cancel out with the 3, and 186 will divide by 3. Let's do that. All right, 186, okay, 186 divided by 3 shall be equal to the right side 3 times the quantity -2 plus 8x. We divide this by 3 there. All right, what is 186 divided by 3? That looks like 62, okay? 62, all right? 62 times 3, that's 6 and 18, yeah. All right, so that should be 62 at the left side. This will now become 62 there. And we continue at the right side, okay? Now, where did I get 62? It's 186 divided by 3, okay? All right. Now, at the right side, you can see this number 3, okay? And this will divide by this 3, making just 3 over 3 is 1, and that number 1 will be multiplied by this quantity. So the right side is simply 1 times the quantity -2 plus 8x. There. Where did I get the 1? That's 3 divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So 1 times the terms inside the parentheses. And then any number multiplied by 1 will just be the number. So you can write this like 62 equals 1 times -2 is -2. And then 1 times 8x is also 8x there. And so this is now the reduced equation. We shall now eliminate this number -2 so that we'll be able to isolate the term with the x. Now we can eliminate the -2 by way of addition. We add a +2 to both sides. 62 plus 2 is equal to -2 plus 8x. We also have to add 2 here because that's what we did at the left side. Okay, so this 62 we add 2. Now this -2 plus 8x we add 2. And so therefore the next line will be 62 plus 2 is 64. And the right side, you see this -2 and this +2 cancels out to 0. So we're going to have 0 plus 8x. And 0 plus 8x is just 8x. There. So we're down to this simpler equation. We now have to apply division. 64 divided by, what is our divisor? It must be the number beside 8. So we divide this by 8. And the right side is 8x. We divide by 8. There. Okay, so we divided both sides by 8. And so the next line will be 64 divided by 8 is exactly 8. And the right side is 8x divided by 8. And that simply cancels out the 8's. And we will have 1x or simply x. And so we don't write this 8 equals x. We usually write x equals 8 by symmetric property. And so our answer is 8. Okay, so we should be able to see the correct answer on the other side. So remember, our answer is +8. We shall try to see the other screen and find out the correct answer on the other side. All right, let's go there. Okay, is the answer for number 5 8? Yes, okay. That's number 8, okay. That means we're correct for number 5. Now, how about doing number 5 in a different solution, okay? Remember, we started with subtracting 1 from both sides, okay? All right, subtracting 1. How about in another way, okay? How about in another way? Let's go back to number 5, going back to that screen. All right, let's go to the whiteboard again. Okay, now, all we need to do is clear some portion of this one, okay? Clear some portion. We're going back to erasing this part. All right, let's see if we can erase this part here. Okay, all right. Now, let's continue with text. Okay, we're back to the problem, number 5. Now, a while ago, we did subtracted 1. That's our starting step. Now, I'm trying to suggest another way of doing this. How about this 3 be multiplied first, eliminating the parentheses? How about doing that? All right, let's try that and see if we will come up with, we already know the answer, it's 8, right? It's 8. Let's just see doing it in another way. Okay, it's okay to know several ways of doing it. Okay, and let's see if we will come up with the same answer. X equal to 8. Okay, all right. So we'll begin with the given problem. All right. So 187 is equal to 1 plus 3 times the quantity -2 plus 8x. All right. Let's begin there. So let me start with the text here. And we said a while ago, our starting solution will be different from the previous. And we will begin here. 3 times this, like that. And then 3 times 8, like that. Right? And you call that distributive property. So that means our left side will remain for a while 187 equals 1 plus, all right, here comes the distributive property. 3 times -2 is -6. Okay, so we're going to have here -6, and then 3 times 8. The 3 is positive, the 8 is positive. We have a positive 24x. Positive 24 and then x inside the parentheses, like that. So no more number 3. Okay, and so this is just plus this quantity. We can now eliminate, since this is just positive 1, you can look at this as if it's just 1. Okay, so you can now just remove this parenthesis over here, and the next line will be 187 equals the positive 1. When the quantity or the quantity in the parentheses is preceded by a positive sign, okay, you can simply remove the parentheses without changing anything inside. So that -6 remains -6, and that plus 24x remains plus 24x there. Okay. Now, if this plus here happens to be a minus, that will surely change something inside. But since this is plus, it won't change anything. Okay. All right. And we will have to deal with something like that later on. All right. Now, the next thing to do is combine like terms. You can see a number here and a number here, the -6. We can simplify this to a -5. So the next line is 187 equals -5 there plus 24x there. And so what do we do here now? We now eliminate the -5 by way of addition. Okay, it's a negative number. To reverse and make that 0, that will be a +5 to be added to both sides. So this will now be our next line, 187. We add 5, and then we have -5, then plus 24x. We add 5 there. So this will now be, how much is this now? 5 plus 7, 12, carry 1, that's 192. 192 is equal to simply, now we don't have the 5s anymore. You can see here -5 and a +5, that will 0 out. And so the right side will simply become 24x there. So we're down to this simpler equation format. We're just going to divide this now by the 24, the number beside the letter. So we're going to apply division property to both sides. We have 192. We divide this by 24. And we have 24x. We also divide by 24. And so you see this 24 cancels out with the 24, giving us 1. 1 times x is just x. So we have x at the right side, okay? This is now x. How about the left side? What is 192 divided by 24? Will that be 8? All right, if you try multiplying 24 by 8, okay, how much is that? 24 times 8, 32 carry 3. That's 8 times 2, 16 plus 3 is 19. So that looks like 192. If we multiply 24 by 8, that means 192 divided by 24 must be 8 there. So again, we have 8 equals x, and we don't write this way. We have to write this x, the letter, equal to the number, the answer. So you see, this is just another way of doing number 5. Okay, so that's it for number 5. okay? All right, so if you don't have any question with number 5, we can continue with number 6. All right, let's continue with number 6. All right, so we're going back to the other screen. All right, we're going back to the other screen. So let's go back to the other screen and get number 6 here. All right, by the way, the answer here is, of course, 8. Of course. All right, let's now have number 6. Okay, this is number 6. All right. This is number 6 here. And we shall try to solve this in the other screen. So we're going back to the whiteboard. All right, let's see the whiteboard. We're going back to the whiteboard over here. There. All right, now we're going to erase the previous number solution. So we'll just clear this up there. And then we will now be copying this number 6 problem. Okay. So we use text and let's write the problem first. All right, let's write the problem first. Okay, so this is number 6 solution. Solution for number 6, and the given problem is 3 times the quantity 8R plus 3, close parenthesis, minus 8 equals negative 95. That's the given, okay? All right, so remember to start with the given always, okay? Copy the original problem. And then try to figure out how you can solve it, all right? All right, let's start by simplification. Okay, we can actually eliminate this 8 right away by way of addition. It's a negative 8, so we can apply plus 8. Okay, making it 0. Now, if we do that, we will have to do a plus 8 on the other side. Okay, all right. So let's try doing that first. Okay, another way of doing that is expanding this to 24R and then a 9 here, like that. That's another way. All right. What I'm going to do is make the numbers smaller. Okay, by way of adding 8 first, so it will 0 out right away. So this will remain 3 times the quantity 8R plus 3. And then we have the minus 8. Like what I said, we will have to apply addition. So we add 8. And then if we do add 8 on the left side, we will also do that at the right side. So the negative 95 will have a plus 8 also there. Okay, what happens next is just simplification. All right, well, we're going to have here 3 times the quantity 8R plus 3, and then negative 8 plus 8 zeros out. Okay, it's a 0. So this will now be equal to, how much is negative 95 plus 8? That should be about 87 negative, okay? Negative 87, like this. And then 87, you see, it's a number divisible by 3. It's divisible by 3. So we can apply division here, making the left side without the number 3. So we will proceed now to the next line, okay? We will proceed to the next line by way of division. All right, so this is now 3 times the quantity 8R plus 3. We divide now by 3. And then the right side is negative 87, be divided also by 3. There. And what is 87 divided by 3? 8 by 3, 2. And then 2 by 3, 6. We have 27 by 3, 9. Okay, so it looks like 29. Okay, that looks like a 29 negative. Okay, 29 and 3, 27, 2. That's 80. Yeah, that looks like that. 87 by 3, 2 and 6, 27, 9. Okay, 29. Yes, 29. It's a negative 29. So the next line here is negative 29. There, negative. That should be negative. There. Because negative 87 divided by a positive 3, that's unlike signs in division, proceeds to a resulting negative quotient. Okay. So that will be like negative 29. All right. What happens to the left side? This 3 here divides by this number 3. And that will just be 3 divided by 3, which is 1. And then 1 times the quantity is the same quantity, 8R plus 3. There. So let's put this back. Too far. Okay, there. Okay. Now you can eliminate the parentheses at this point, okay? Because this will just cancel out. 3 cancels out with the 3. So it follows that's 1, okay? And then 1 times 8R plus 3 is 8R plus 3. Next is to isolate the 8R alone, okay? So we will have to process this 3 here by way of subtraction, okay? By way of subtraction. So our next line is subtraction. 8R plus 3 will apply minus 3 here so that it will zero out the positive 3 like that. And then if we do a minus 3, we will also do a minus 3 in the other side. So that's a minus 3. Remember, you apply a subtraction property here, okay? That's a minus 3. You also do that in the other side. Remember, an equation is like a balance. If you put 10 pounds here, you also put 10 pounds here. If you subtract 5 pounds here, you subtract 5 pounds here. It's like a balance. Otherwise, if you don't do that, it will have, what do you call that? Not equal or not equilibrium, okay? One will be higher, one will be lower, like that. So this is now subtraction property, and the 8R plus 3 minus 3 will just be 8R at the left side. There. And then the right side is negative 29 minus 3. They are both negative numbers. This will add up to a negative 32. There. Negative 32. And so you're going to divide this by the number beside the R, which is the 8 for the next line, okay? So 8R divided by 8 is equal to negative 32 divided by 8. There. And so we will have the left side simply R. 8R divided by 8, the 8 cancels out to 1. 1 times R simply gives R. There. And then a negative 32 divided by 8 is a negative result, which happens to be 4, okay? So final answer is R equal to negative 4. That's it, okay? That's our answer, and we shall verify that in the other screen. So we're going back to the other screen. All right, go back. And our answer is a negative 4. So let's find out. Is it negative 4? Yes, the answer is negative 4. So we shall continue with the other numbers later. All right, so we'll just continue with the other numbers. For now, you will have to continue reading the other problems. And I think you have this in your paper. So we will have to end up our discussion here for a while, and we will go back to number 7 later. All right, thank you very much. And let's go back to our previous screen. So we stopped, we will stop at that number and then we'll continue later. All right, so, okay.